Hey everyone, it's at Slash Night Gaming. Welcome back for more Kirby in the Forgotten Land. In the last part, we finished Natural Plains in its entirety, and in this part, we're going to start off in Everway Bay Coast, the water area of the game. So let's head into the abandoned beach. And that's not good, the beach is completely abandoned, and that makes it easier for me to swim there. Haha! Alright, let's get into this. Alright, showing off a cute little detail. Kirby actually goes into a water raft every time he swims. These are glubs, I believe they're called, official pronunciation is. Essentially, they're like random enemies that sometimes attack and sometimes don't. Okay, we're gonna need bomb. Money is always good. Oh, and a new ability, sleep. Sleep's actually bad. Essentially, you don't move, Kirby will fall asleep. However, shaking the control stick will get rid of sleep immediately. I see to show that off, sadly, it shows up in the ability room. And before you ask, yeah, I think there's an upgrade to sleep. That is another detail. In the original Kirby games, Kirby had like movement up and down, so as a result of that, he would basically just, you know, what was the word I'm looking for? Oh, right, he would spit a bubble every time. But in this game, because it's three-directional movement and there's no way to swim underwater, yeah, you're wondering what he does. Essentially, he just... You know, I can just pop already. Oh, right. Knock, knock, nuts. We have to actually crack these open. So let's head back, because I saw another one over here. That knock, knock, knock. Now there should be another one. Let's head back a little bit. Unless my memory is fogging up on me again. Which I believe it. Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, I'll meet you guys at the end of this little mini section we have going on. You can really tell the 30 frames when the thing is the crocodile enemy is paddling like super far away. Alright, anyway, go down the warp star, down here. Oh, right, monster fine, and we got Cutter again. So, let's go into Volcano Fire. Burn. And new enemy, Wild Bonkers, a retrain classic. Woo! And while an enemy is under fire conditions, they will always... Whoa! They'll always keep taking damage no matter what, and damage over time is a lot larger when the enemy is... So... Get Bunkers to show off the hammer ability. Like the previous episode I showed you, hammer is incredibly strong and deals massive damage. And its main gimmick is to, well, pound grates, like in the original Kirby game. Alright, so let's head over to where these glubs are. I can't remember their official names. Man, I feel stupid for not remembering their names. Alright, so let's get this. Stop it. Cause it to fall down all the way. Find a hidden Watery. Very, very good. Alright, let's keep going. Really wondering why I'm not interested in the stars. Alright, Scarfies. An enemy that I will always remember no matter what. If you deal damage at all, they turn to monsters that will blow up next to you. So, yeah, I would recommend not just hitting them once and then waiting for them to blow if you don't damage them enough, but they're easy enemies to get rid of. And the game just gives you hammer quickly in this area, so you shouldn't have trouble with it. These enemies require to be above water. Very interesting. Got rid of it. I want to go in that whirlpool. Whirlpool. I'm unable to avoid battle. right, enemies also drown. Here, and there's a scarf here as well as a grate. And we're good. Let's head in this way. As soon as I get control of myself. Yay! Alright. And more hammer gimmick. Alright. This is more of a you have to get there in a specific amount of time thing. Otherwise, when you advance, and also it activates the bomb switch. So, a result of that, you have to get there in a completed time. Otherwise, the Waddle Dee will vanish. And we got the captured Waddle Dee that was here. Nice. Alright then, let's keep going. Also avoid these enemies because they will actually try to bite at you if you're above them at all. Just gonna point that out right then and there because that is very not good. The fact they also do massive damage to Kirby is another thing that's not good at all. You're probably wondering where the last nut is if I can't find it in a normal area. Well, it's a very particular location. Yeah, I want to fight. Come here. Man, I can't remember names today. No! Yeah. Alright, and now we got a new mouthful mode. Ladies and gentlemen, bring mouth. You want to go up here. Trust me. Complete the sign on the rooftop is a requirement. It's very visible if you're not knowing what you're doing. So I'd recommend doing it anyway. And the explosive air do a same reach as long as you hold it correctly. So there's enemies, hit this to get more goodies. I should also mention that optimal mode also is like super damaging to targets. So for example, let's say the enemy is invincible. It takes like certain hits. I would not recommend going that way yet until you get down there. So go this way, raises that up, and we get access to something else. Jump on a boat, press B, you essentially steer. Ow. Alright, we destroyed him. And there was the last nut you needed, because it was hidden in a different area we couldn't get to. So, Knock Knock Nut is officially destroyed, and we got that hidden model that we did before. You need a boost while doing that, otherwise you're going to deal damage to yourself. Crash into this wall, only to discover a hidden room. Now wait until you get all the way up here, jump out of the boat, spit out that, I won't get ice. Ow! Okay, not cool. Come here. Thank you. Mouthful. And again. There we go. That's all that and wild is in this area. Very good. Okay, let's get going. Also keep in mind that stars do play somewhat of a decent role, but to be honest, the game doesn't have any lives, so the requirement of you need lives to keep yourself alive is not a staple in this game. So you're probably wondering what ring these stars actually serve a purpose. Well, I'll show you later in the story because that's a requirement for later. So we got everything we needed. Let's head over to this goal and then drop that O that we absorb in mouthful mode and complete it. Clear the stage, save hidden Waddle Dees, open everything else, and clear in wild mode, and we got one. Waddle Dee. These delightful puns. Residents of Popstar landed in a new world before Kirby arrived. That's right, the Waddle Dees showed up before Kirby showed up. Even though they technically got there at the same time. You might want to keep note on that. Needle, of course. Nice. Alright, we got that then. Next area? Concrete Isles. We save 9 Waddles, but we also unlock a bunch of things in the normal town because we reached 50. And while I would normally go there right away, I'd like to consider dealing with this next stage next, and then we'll head back to Waddle Town. Alright, Concrete Isles. The actual way you need to get is like 60, so that's what I'm going to go to. Alright, so we're in a new area, which is completely open. And because of ice, you actually have the complete ability to do that. However, the game doesn't tell you that you need to scare off something in the stage. Alright, I think it's something in the stage. You need to clear out seagulls. It doesn't tell you where, it doesn't tell you how. You have to clear out the seagulls regardless. By the way, just in case you're wondering, yes, you eat that enemy and it will give you bomb. These are, well, step pieces. They are required for, well... Oh. Okay, eat this. Crash. A staple of the Kirby series. It's basically a screen nuke. Hold the button down all the way, and blow up every enemy on the screen. Any enemy that takes that hit will immediately take a super amount of damage. And as a result of that, it's going to be very easy. However, we need to make sure we continue on after we check the entirety of the stage, because some of those seagulls are sometimes hidden outside the view. Alright, first let's puff up. I'll also mention that puffing up all the way will allow you to get to the top. However, there is a weakness to that, is in the form of, well, before we do that, let's just crash. It doesn't matter what crash level you use, it just matters if you just destroy the enemy or not. Anyway, let's take care of that. Grab this. We collected all 5 of those to activate a crane, which in turn gives us a reward for that. Now we have a chest that's shaking, when we obviously know what shaking means. Man, the Wally must have either been safe in that box or not drowning. So that, well, I mean, he doesn't have a mouth. Man, the original anime explored that one. Alright, let's just destroy this knock nut just in case. Alright, good. We're looking for more of those seagulls, as you mentioned. I saw before. So these are new enemies, mole enemies. Momo enemies. Eat one of them, and you get the drill ability. A unique ability to this game. Kirby will eventually pop out of the hole immediately. You deal massive damage while doing so, as well as other things. So, get this capsule. You basically just have to do it like that, by just tapping it. Tapping it and doing etc. However, if you're not under stable ground, Kirby will not actually, you know, go underground. Instead, you just won't do anything. Just grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this. Destroy that enemy, that was good. Right, we're getting farther and farther in the stage. I'm just going to mention right now, I don't think the enemies show up yet. Alright, there's the second seagull we need to get. It's over there. Scare off the seabirds. In fact, they call it seabirds, not seagulls. Really, it bothers me. By circling around an area entirely, you create an earthquake that destroys all enemies. And those fire cannons are not an issue because you go underground. Now circle around all of them at once. Blow them all up with one hit. And what the game's trying to tell you in this is to wait for a bit, go underground, and then jump out. Go underground, jump out. Because of how drill works, it's very easy to get underground and avoid enemies, but it's also very easy to blow yourself up. You want to make sure you get every little detail, otherwise you're going to blow yourself up. So, let's make sure we go this way, and a new mouthful will jump into us. Scissor lift. Pressing B button or A button, you change your height. However, you want to make sure your height's low enough so you don't hurt yourself. And under an enemy, you deal massive damage. Also, by spitting out on top, you get to, well, turn is, get more snakes at you. However, there is one thing in this stage that people might miss on their first playthrough, no matter what. And it's a very weird, not a weird thing not to miss, because it tends to happen. Normally, you'd want to go right to the star and end this area. Instead, hang right. Jump above this, and then you get access to a little island that you could not go to before. With an Olfie and a hidden island Wallaby. And the hidden island Wallaby is a requirement because it's one of the hidden Wallabies you couldn't get before. This is mean, but I really don't care. I'm so mean. I'm so mean I hurt a dog. I'm so mean. And there's the last seagull we needed. Got all three of them, and I think we're continuing forward to the stage. Alright, and we're in another area of the game. Go underground. Like that, destroy him. Go underground. Jump. Be careful of this bomb enemy, because it will deal massive damage. Deal massive damage instead, because that earthquake attack actually does a lot of damage to enemies. Alright, just wait a bit. Jump out. Under. Out. Under. Out. Climb up here instead for a new mouthful mode. There's two of them in this area. Now we're tube. Pipe mouth. Essentially, by pressing the A button, you need to time your jumps accordingly to these jumps, so you can actually get across. And we collect it while we're also very much in pain. So we got that one out of the way. And get out of that. And of course, because you crashed into a wall, the pipe is actually completely destroyed. Like, of course. Go under here. The Metamato. Owie! I need that. Give it back. Dig of a Metamato was also a requirement. And now we got the Hidden Wildies done. And we completed every part of this stage. So yeah, just another reminder, make sure you click everything because the game doesn't properly explain it unless it wants to. So be in mind for that. Gordo Bar and Bomb Kirby. Nice, good new figures to add to the collection. And now we've reached 60 Waddle Dees in total. Well, more than 60 rather. Scale of Cement Silent. As you notice, we're going through these stages a bit faster than we did in Natural Plains. At least in comparison. But it's only because of certain things in stages that aren't like huge. So let's head into Cement Summit. And we're going to head up going upwards instead of going scaling up a sideways. So since we're done drill for a bit, let's grab this Needle. Again, like we previously shown, Needle is a very good ability that grabs enemies when you're getting close to them. I would not recommend falling off because that will actually deal damage to you. It doesn't look it, but it actually does. So let's go this way. Climb up these stairs, wait for it. Climb up. And the hidden requirement of the stage is to destroy the Kirby posters. And instead of destroying one, you need to destroy at least 3. That requirement can be a bit tricky, but I will show everyone that's in the stage, so just keep in mind for that. Just deal with these enemies, and then jump over this way. So you slip by, and you grab this shoving unit to the storage mountain mode, and we meet our first enemy model of the stage. That's very good. It's also because I think it's also reason to be... Right, there we go. Killed it and got this figure. Neat. Before you ask, no, you cannot destroy that thing instantly. I tried so hard, it went very poorly. Alright, destroy that, and we get access to something new in this area. Abilities, Cutter Needle blueprints. Those blueprints that we talked about in the previous episode showed that you can get blueprints from stages. So for this one, we get a Cutter up, a Needle upgrade. And Needle has upgrade just gives it increased range, increased power, a lot of increases. So it's a very good thing to get all those. And it's actually required for 100% of the stage. Alright, we head into the next area. Now we have an option between ice and also cutter. One thing you need to get in this stage is another hidden thing. You need to also freeze this enemy. Now, as a hidden thing you need to get is freeze Kirby with ice ability. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. Now, you need to also run because this will actually absorb you into its body. Well, not really absorb, it's more so deal massive damage to Kirby. And because of, well, it's basically reference to ballerinas. Aye! I need that back. Please stop spinning. Man, I miss the days of eating those ice blocks. Doing damage. Unfortunately, Ice's biggest weakness is its damage output. So unfortunately for us, it's not going to do as much damage as their ability. And now we've destroyed it, giving access to a new ability. This is Tornado, a staple in the 2D games as well as in this game. Tornado has a unique feature. By holding down the B button, well, more particularly, there is only one feature in Tornado, and that's to grab enemies and toss them into Tornado Grip. And in the Tornado Grip, the enemies cannot actually avoid it. And also, the only other ability Tornado has going for it is the ability to go over spikes super easily. And I'm about to get whacked, aren't I? Whoa, okay. Ow. Okay, that's enough of that. Stop that. We need to rush fast because that thing's about to, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, right, vanish. Thank goodness we managed to get to Hidden Waddle Dee. Okay. Now everything's right with the world. Alright, let's knock this sign down, because we needed that for a thing. Head this way, only to find a hidden room. This hidden room requires Tornado. So we need to bounce off switches in order to hit more switches, and then we're good. It wasn't that hard, honestly. And to be honest, it's not that bad either. Tornado has a weird thing about it that has a issue. And also another thing you need to get is just avoid spikes in the secret room. So really, you have to go this way no matter what to get a hidden Waddle Dee. So let's head over this way. Alright, and there is one more hidden Waddle Dee. Because we already cleared most of all the other hidden Waddle Dees that we need to get. I could go for Bomb, but I think I should just spend a little more time with Tornado. Oh, we got a new mouthful mode. I forgot about this one. This is Arc Mouth. Arc Mouth basically controls like a biplane. You can also invert the controls if you want to change the plane controls. Essentially, this is more of your mini section. You also have a spin tackle that deals with enemies. So let's go through these hoops. Keep in mind the automation is normal, and you can swap between up and down controls whenever you feel like it. I personally don't, because it's just a little bit, well, unless you're used to like normal playing 2D games, so not exactly a hard thing to do, but I'd recommend it unless you want to. Ow. And to the right, to avoid those enemies. Let's put that enemy. Now be careful, because if you whack into a thing once, you're going to take damage. Head to the left. Head to the right. And there's another way. You gotta go right immediately here. Because you need to spin against this wall in order to get hidden secrets and the last hidden Waddle Dee of the stage. Because this is missable, so you'd have to go through the entire stage again. Alright, and let's head over down this way. And we got done with this. Spit that out. And the last hidden Wildly you need to get is right over there, because the poster is at the end of the stage. Jump up here, and we're done with the stage, so let's head into the Wildlies. I said, there we go. I was wondering when I can go in there. Alright. And completely cleared. I did everything we needed. The freeze Verna can be missable if you're not knowing what you're doing, so I'd recommend getting ice and practicing with it until you get used to the timing. Big Kaboo. Unfortunately, that's the only hidden figure we got. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to meet you back in Watery Town. By the way, you press B button, you can instantly Watery down, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And now we're back at Hidden Watery Town. To show a lot more things are opened up to us. First, the post office. I'll tell you about one of the deliveries later. As well as a complete rescaled model of Kirby's house. And a food court. Watery Cafe. There are two things you can do at Watery Cafe, but it's a requirement for later. The second thing is Help Wanted. Essentially, it's a food minigame where you can basically help customers and serve food. And since we got a new blueprint, we got access to the Needle ability evolution. And we haven't upgraded Cutter yet, because even though we got all those stars, we couldn't upgrade Cutter yet. So let's head over here and upgrade both of them. Next dock, Crash ability added. Next dock, Hammer ability activated. Next dock, Tornado ability activated. Next dock, What'll D. Next dock, Sleep. And a new blueprint for you. Alright, let's get to a raid and get evolution started. I should also mention certain abilities get a second evolution and a third stage evolution. So, let's upgrade this to a Chakram Cutter, which increases its rapid fire significantly. You don't need to see this cutscene again, so let's get Chakram Cutter. And guess what? Instead of one cutter, you get to just throw two, and that's why the rapid fire is so good. I should also mention that you need to time your cutter ability appropriately, otherwise it's not going to work. And with the rapid cutter as well, it also bounces, does like a great job. So next up, let's upgrade a needle. All it does is upgrade the power up by 1, and it upgrades the rapid fire by a half. Because rapid fire is not exactly Needle's biggest ploy. So let's upgrade this one to Cutter Needle. And as you notice, it's a little nod to Kirby 64's special needle ability. Going in here in the trading room, we can show off the needle. Also, a unique feature about it is it drops like weird pellets. Those deal some damage as well. By rationally grabbing the button, you can do massive damage doing that. So, keep in mind. So, it's not exactly the most powerful ability, but it's an ability you'd want to use later on. He also explains how power-ups work. So if you want to talk to him about a certain ability, you can do that. So, let's go with that. Alright, we're done with that. Now, I should probably show off talking to him. The cafe lets you buy certain items. So, for first, take it on the go, which adds in the X button to us. X basically gives you a one-stock item of whatever items on the screen. You can recover some HP, half your HP, or maximum tomato, all your HP. You'll never need to worry about the lower food items because you're gonna just use it immediately. And let's just take this to go. So now we have an ability to completely heal our HP. And I think we should end this video off by going into Kirby's little house. The house gets updated throughout the story as well as other things. So, reading the book will allow us to see all Kirby's previous adventures up to this point. Well, at least major adventures for like Kirby. Well, at least not to return. Sadly, not Return to Dreamland. I don't know why. Dude, that's a big staple. Anyway, Epic Yarn. A lot of other abilities as well as Planet Robot. Triple Deluxe. Essentially, a lot of these things started the whole mainstays and past adventures. So, they're always good to read and look back on. Anyway, I think we're going to end this off while Kirby gets some sleep. So, next time on Kirby and the Forgotten Land, we're going to continue on with the Wonderful Waters and hopefully manage to explore and find more Wildies. See you guys then.